On the southernmost stretch of Bryant Boulevard in San Angelo, Texas, atop a little hill, reads a sign that says Ben Ficklin Cemetery. And just down the road, another sign reads Ben Ficklin Road. Many of us have driven past it dozens, hundreds, even thousands of times, but how many of us have ever really asked, who was Ben Ficklin? Why do we have a road and a cemetery named after him? Well, as it turns out, Ben Ficklin was the name of a man and a place. Both were instrumental in shaping the region we call home. And here to help us learn more about both is Mr. William Caskey. He's the board director of the Metcalf-Spence Historical Preservation Foundation. He's going to help us to learn more about the cemetery and the place itself. So thank you, Mr. Caskey. Really appreciate it. Let's see what we got.
Okay. Well, welcome to the 2-acre Ben Ficklin Cemetery. This was founded in 1882 by the Metcalf and Spence families after the flood of August 24th, 1882, which claimed Mary Jane Metcalf, Zamella Metcalf, and their uncle, Blake Taylor. And although this was formed in 1882, there are at least 4 grave sites in here with a date of death that predate 1882. And those people were moved, reinterred from the original Ben Ficklin Cemetery, which was closer to the river. These stones are significant in that they were once a part of the original Tom Green County Courthouse, which sat in the town of Ben Ficklin, was the county seat. And the courthouse stood about a half a mile south of where we are now. That courthouse opened its doors in February of 1882, and in August of 1882, just a few months later, it was ruined by the flood. Margie was one of the descendants of Charles Metcalf and Fanny Spence, and she had her turn out here as being the keeper of the cemetery. We were able to secure some stones from Fort Concho. These were foundational stones for Barrack 3, which has long been gone, and operation was undertaken to rebuild Barrack 3, and it has been completed. But when they did that, they dug these foundational stones out of the ground. We had a few of them moved here. That's great. This has been known as a pauper cemetery, and the Metcalf and Spitz families allowed anyone to be buried out here that couldn't afford to be buried anywhere else, and they never charged anyone for a burial plot. A lot of these graves were Depression era graves in this area. Graves don't have headstones on them, so we don't know who is in there, and records were not maintained. There are about 140 graves, and we developed a list of about 100 names. So we're missing about 40 names for those 140 graves, and I believe 44 of these graves we can identify a specific person to that grave. Matt, this is the Metcalf-Spence plot. And you can see Mary Jane Metcalf, Zamella Metcalf, and Blake Taylor. And those are our 3 flood victims.
Wow.
Mary Jane, she was running the Concho Mail Station, which is located about a mile north of here. And the floodwaters took her and the others, and she was found 16 miles downstream, close to Miles, Texas.
Wow.
Our most famous inhabitant here is Francis Taylor. He's known as the father of Tom Green County.
Wow.
He was instrumental in getting the county organized in 1874, and he was the first county judge of Tom Green County. And he is one of our reinterments. You can see he died in 1879, so he predates the cemetery. His wife also predates the cemetery, as does Zamella Spears, who was the sheriff's wife.
Wow.
In the back, you see 4 new stones over there. Those are children of Charles Metcalf and Fanny Spence that never had markers, and the foundation purchased those markers and had them put out here to where they would look similar to these old markers. Well, this is our 4th headstone that predates the cemetery, 1881.
Oh, yeah.
Alexander Van Court. You might be familiar with a small community out on 87 past Wall called Van Court. This is the Short family.
Okay.
That's their last name is Short.
Were they short as well?
I don't know. But you got Mama and Daddy Short, and then their son, who died in a horse accident. His horse bolted and ran into a fence, and it threw him off, and he was very young. This was a daughter-in-law over here, Jada Short, and her husband, she died when she was about 19 or 20, and her husband moved off and remarried. It looks like they kept a spot for her husband in there, which never happened.
Yeah. Wow.
Luke Short was a famous gambler and gunslinger back in the day, and these are his parents and his little brother. And Luke probably stood right in this location because he was known to have come back for his brother's burial.
These QR codes.
Yeah, if you come out to the cemetery, be sure and shoot these QR codes, and it'll give you some in-depth information on what's behind the QRs. And although this information is linked to our website, you can't get that information on the website. You can only access it through the QR. So there are 4 different QRs out here. Be sure and shoot all of those.
For 143 years, atop this little hill, a treasure trove of memory and history has laid quietly. But the Metcalf and Spence families have generously opened this historical site to the public so that we can experience it firsthand. We can touch the stones that were used to build the first courthouse in Tom Green County. We can come out and visit the graves and pay our respects to the men and women who helped pave the way for us to call this place home.